What a life we get to live, right? As you look back on your life and you look at all the different chapters you've lived, all the mountains and peaks you've been to, all the valleys you've been through, it's crazy. What a life. What a life, from your childhood all the way up until where you are today. There's so many pieces to this experience. Our thoughts, the people that come into and out of our lives, the places we live, the environment we live in. It's complex. There's a lot. I'm blessed right now to live in, this beautiful space. We call it Peace of Zion. And we're in the middle of the mountains. Our closest neighbors are about half a mile away. And it's beautiful. It's definitely inspiring, and it invites me every day to practice being still, to listen, to be inspired by the beauty of the nature that surrounds me. And so that's why I've actually written a couple books, Messages from Nature, because everything around us is constantly inviting us to learn and grow. You are being invited right now to learn and grow. Everything in your life is there with a lesson if you are open to receive it. If you are open to receive it. So many of you know I have a 6-year-old. He's in kindergarten. Today I got to go spend an hour in the kindergarten and got to read some of my children's books to them. So they picked 2. So we read A Maggot's Life, The Value of Confidence, and we read The Monsters in Your Head, talking about believing in yourself and what to do with those scary thoughts that get in your head and hold us back. And interestingly, yesterday when I was talking to my 6-year-old, I said, who do you play with at recess? And he said, oh, I play with myself. I play by myself. And I said, okay, well, do you have any friends? Do you play? He's like, no, they play and they do other stuff, but I play by myself because I'm different. I was like, oh. So it's interesting where these beliefs come in. And oftentimes it's very innocent. It's not that people are intentionally trying to hurt us, right? People are just living, and then we filter things through our mind, and we take things in and we create beliefs about what that means. And so being able to recognize that you are not your thoughts and that you can challenge your beliefs. And if it's not serving you, you can choose into something different. And so that's something I get to talk with my son about. And that's what we talked about with the whole class today. We talked about how do you believe in yourself? What is it that you want to do? What is your big goal? And then believe it and practice. Just start practicing right now where you're at. Allow yourself to make mistakes. That's why in these videos, oftentimes I just do it in one take. And so sometimes I may stumble over words. Sometimes I may have some mistakes and things that happen. And the reason why I do that is because mistakes are an important part of life. I want this to be real. I want it to be authentic. And so if I was really talking to you right now and I stumbled over my words, I wouldn't be able to go over and edit that out and say, oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean for you to see that, right? And so I do this in one take and I talk to you, and I do edit some of the front off and the back off so that I could put the picture at the end and the title at the front, and I add some music, right? But for the most part, this is just me talking to you right now. And we make these mistakes, and it's okay. And so talking to these kids and just saying, hey, look, here's where we're at. Here's some of the things you've been experiencing. So we're talking about your thoughts. We're talking about your experiences, and that it's okay to make mistakes, and we're learning from them. And so we were able to go through that with the books today. And then the teacher said to me afterwards, said, thank you. This was perfect because yesterday was a pretty rough day. And so this was perfect for them. Because with the Monsters in Your Head book, we did some exercises to help them get out their scary thoughts, to turn it around, to release the things that they're afraid of. And it was just a really great experience for me to be able to be there with the kids. My son was in the class too, which is always a special treat. And to just recognize that these messages are important, it's valuable. Sometimes we may look at these things and we're like, oh yeah, well everyone knows that's common sense. And yet it's the simple things that we most often overlook. It's the simple things that we think, oh, well, yeah, I already know that, or it doesn't really matter. And it's those things that trip us up the most because we feel like, well, it doesn't really apply to me. And yet that's why I'm here at Hope to Cope every single day, reminding you that you are a miracle, that you have a purpose, and just having this conversation where we can start to think, we can be awake and really consider things. And they're simple things, right? They're basic. They're the basic things. But it's important for us to remember the basics. It's important for us to remember the fundamentals so that we can excel and experience the other parts of life. And so wherever you're at today, I just want you to know that you're okay, that you're a miracle, that you have a purpose, that you're here for a reason, that you're right here on planet Earth at this time for a reason. How do you know you're where you're meant to be? Because you're there. If you were meant to be somewhere else, you'd be somewhere else. So pay attention to the lessons that are being invited for you to learn right now in this moment, because you're exactly right where you need to be for this moment in your life. What are you learning? What are you noticing? Pay attention. Pay attention. Because we go through cycles, we go through patterns until we learn the lessons that we're being invited to learn. That which you resist persists. So allow yourself to learn the lessons that are being presented to you. You're okay, you're enough, you're worthy, you're precious, and you are here for a reason. So thank you for being here with me today. I see you. I'm grateful for you. If today's message was for you, go and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, I'm here every single day to check in with you, to see you, and to remind you that you are a miracle, you have a purpose. So thank you for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.